Join me live now in all caps as I chart the market during this BTC bounce. I will also be answering your questions and looking at alts such as OMG, NEO, ENG, BNB, LTC, Nano, ICX, ETC, and more. Thank you. As I speak to myself. What's up, guys? I don't even know. Can you guys hear me? Hello. Take a look on power. Yep, I got to look at power. Let me view it on the watch page. Looks good. Put the encoder there. Make sure everything's good. Is the crypto, is the audio okay, man? Let me look at my phone. This isn't private, is it? It's unlisted. You got to be kidding me. One second. Why did I do that? Public. Thank you. You on watch page. All right, we're still going, I believe. Here we go. Why did I do that? All right, it sounds like the audio is okay. Public. You on watch page. Make sure you guys like the video, please. Subscribe, comment. All right. We'll give it just a couple more here, and then audio's good. Thank you. Thank you for contributing. It's nice. All right. Twitter. We'll go in here in just a couple, guys. Hey, what's up, Ilya? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna grab my iPad so I can monitor the comments, so I can charge my phone during this one. The wireless charger over here. Yeah. All right, we're gonna wait for a couple more people to get in, guys. I'll be right back in like 2 seconds, literally. Okay, not literally. Close though. All right. 53%. Happy with that 30 entry on Neo. Me too, man. I'm pumped. Like Neo's gonna go to $500 someday, and I'm not selling. I don't care if it goes below 30. I'm not selling, dude. I'm just gonna keep just throw it in the Neon wallet and stake gas off of it. I'm super pumped about that. What's up, Conrad? Yeah. No, I've woke up and got to work this morning charting everything in existence. That looked good, and I got to OMG, and I got the notification that Bitcoin had broken my resistance line. So on TradingView, so I was like, uh-oh, time to time to chart. So it's really easy to get FOMO right now, guys. Um, Super easy to get FOMO. You just gotta kind of fight it, and I'm gonna show you why on a few charts. I mean, because you know, last alt season, and I'm gonna call last alt season like March, because a lot of alts did really well. I mean, it wasn't like crazy or anything like that, but a lot of alts did really well. Um, During that time, like we were able to buy the macro fib retracement areas because it was so oversold. We got everything at bargain basement prices. But we didn't this time. There was a few that I bought a lot of. I bought a lot of Litecoin, bought a lot of Neo. But a lot of alts just they were retesting that macro fib support, and the more times you test something, the less time it's gonna stick and or bounce, and especially with BTC looking weak, like it was going to break that 5,800 support and really die. Who's calling me? I'll call you afterwards. Um, we didn't buy everything, so we'll just buy pullbacks. However, it's still tricky, man, because here we go. If you guys can see here, just making sure. Hold up a second. Just making sure on my iPad that it's sharing okay. All right, I need to make me a little bit smaller, I think. Not be so damn selfish. All right. Cool. So, man, that's a good volume candle. I'll tell you what. Let's check the 4 hour on the volume though. It's a lot of good volume on BitMEX. Let me drag this up here. Yeah, it's a lot of good volume. There's just almost 12K more longs than shorts on Bitmet on Bitfinex. Do you think Neo's going to move back to $28 mark if Bitcoin breaks support? I mean, here's the thing that we need to look at Bitcoin right now. That'll tell you everything you need to know. Um, I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm getting more bullish, and I'll show you why. All right, I'm gonna X this fib out, delete these lines, and then we're gonna get to work. All right, so um, Bitcoin's respecting the 4-hour 20 EMA pretty well. It's the pink moving average. This volume is so crazy. This is one thing I wish TradingView would fix the way that how vertically they show their volume. I know they have to kind of do it like this, but it's annoying. So if you guys can see this, okay. Ever since the beginning of May, Bitcoin almost got to 10,000, right? I believe that it. did they even get there on BitMEX? I don't think it. I think it was like 99.75 or something like that. I shorted 99.75, um, which was a win. And all right, so we've had ever since then. So this has been 2 months almost. This green downtrend line, right? And it's been resistance. And we haven't really been able to get over it. It's been a steady downtrend. Um, but with that, Bitcoin moved up, retested the downtrend line almost, bounced off the 20 EMA after consolidation, and moved away from it again. So we can pretty much consider this downtrend line a thing of the past. Doesn't mean that we can't retest some horizontal resistance or support down there, but it's looking better now on the daily. The green volume needs to get better, and I'm still not quite bullish yet. I want to be so bad, but it's looking good right now for buying us some time to make some serious money. I mean, Neo just jumped past $36. Do I think it's going on at 28 again? We should be so lucky. If it does, buy more, man. I can't tell you that. I don't know. I don't think it will. I don't think it should, but of course it could. Is that a hedgy answer or what? Um, it's just like, wow, we need to see a little bit more. So where am I shorting? I'm gonna scalp short this little blue line right here, this horizontal resistance. It's always tough for price to climb out of a hole, guys. All right, and this is a hole on a bear trend. It's always tough for it to climb out of a hole. And if I get a chance to scalp short 6,700, I'll do it. If it moves past it, I will scalp short the daily 50 moving average, which is 7156. Yeah, 7150 right now. Um, I'll short that area too, get some quick profit, get out, let the market tell me what it's going to do next. But here's the thing that I don't want to get too bullish on right now is, like I said before, there's like 12K more longs than shorts, and it's only going to get better or bigger. And we might be heading to a situation here where if you look back in February, I mean, at the peak, there were 36,500 BTC longs on Bitfinex and less than 10,000 shorts, and the market was completely over leveraged. All the people who had bought had already bought, and that's why it fell and it kind of died. Um, and you could have that again here. Um, but there's gonna be plenty of time to take scalp shorts, to build positions and everything. Man, I want to see how Bitcoin really reacts to these two horizontal levels. There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I need to see more. I'm talking about a dirty downtrend we've had, like a really filthy downtrend. And am I super bullish on Bitcoin? Oh, whoops. Am I super bullish on Bitcoin long term? You bet your ass. That's why I'm here. That's why I do this every single day and keep coming back and banging my head against a brick wall, um, in these markets. But you can't deny a strong trend. And this has been a strong trend in daily volume, price action, price behavior, everything. So, um, and longs love to over leverage themselves. So, you know, I'm trying to tell myself here, stay even keeled. Don't get super FOMO-y. It's easy to get super FOMO-y, and we can just buy pullbacks. Like seriously, the when the market has serious volatility to the upside like this, the world is your oyster. Okay, like you could short into rallies for scalps. You can long on and then long on pullbacks. Every coin is going to be at a different stage of its short little pump cycle here. So you'll be able to just grab profits left and right. You just got to wait for a confirmed trend. Okay, so one thing I'm liking here is we have confluence of a breaking of diagonal resistance, right? So I showed you this green line, and then this blue line on RSI confirms it for you. Um, we're going to need to see more volume. Now look, today is, yeah, we're only down here on volume, right? Like you say, oh, that's low volume. However, we have almost 10 hours until the daily close. So if things want to get wild, I want to see volume break this daily moving average to the upside and not be followed by a shitload of red volume. Because it means people are just selling into the pump. Um, So the only thing I'm lining up to do right now is, I mean, really we can call it shorting three areas, like scalp shorting, right? Getting your profit and getting out. So I'll come over to BitMEX here. I'm trying to turn zero point 0.2 Bitcoin into 10 Bitcoin. And over the last 2 weeks, I'm at zero point 0.5 right now. Um, yeah, where am I at? Okay, yeah, I'm at zero point 0.5. Awesome. So I have a active order here for 67.65 on 5x leverage. I'll just grab a quick scalp and get out. And um, I think horizontal support will hold right there. Get 100, 200 bucks. Get out. Do your thing. I really think you could probably scalp short the 15-minute right here, but I Bitcoin on BitMEX can have a habit of doing this after the first spike, right? So it's almost like it probably, oh, we are on the 15-minute. Okay. So it's probably like a 1 minute serious ascending triangle almost, but on the 15 it doesn't really look like anything. It's just upward buying pressure continuing, and then you get a second spike. I want that second spike to hit me into 67, 65, 6800 at that horizontal resistance just to climb out of the hole, get a quick scalp, get out. Let price consolidate, figure out what it wants to do next. But the last thing you guys can do here is be super bearish. Um, I mean, super bullish. Just, I think we might be okay. Just chill out for a second, you know? And, a thing to be that you could find as promising here would be, well, shit, look what happened when Bitcoin broke this downtrend line, right? Look what happened when Bitcoin broke this downtrend line. Pretty cool. Because I'm not just drawing it down to the first peak off like this, like you could right here. Because if you look at something in common with all three, they all had this little first drop, little bounce, first drop, little bounce, first drop, little bounce here, and then a second one that creates the downward trend line. Um, so we have confluence, and this could seriously be a three drives down pattern. And I want to be bullish so bad with you guys. I want to FOMO so bad with you guys, but it goes against everything that I believe in and everything that has gotten me this far in the markets to where it's just time to be patient. I do watch Tone Vays. He's literally one of the biggest douchebags in the entire world. Closed-minded thinker. Yeah, he can say, "Oh my God, I called 5K." Well, it hasn't hit 5K yet, so don't count your eggs before they hatch. And I don't care what he says. He called 7,200 as the market top. Um, and him and guys like Vinny Lingham, who called 1,200 as the market top and sold his Bitcoin at 1,200, they like to congregate each other and with each other and circle jerk each other and talk about how great their predictions are and everything like that. But no, no thanks. Um, and also with Tone Vays, if you look at him, I can't get over how stupid his haircut is. Like, I can't get over how stupid his haircut is. Am I being mean? Yeah, but he's a know-it-all and a half, man, and he's not always right. And his opinions on smart contracts and Ethereum and any coin that's not Bitcoin is shit is such horseshit. If that's the case, then why do you have Intel partnering with ENG, with Enigma? Why do you have Samsung partnering with Icon? Um, why do you have Neo being backed by the Chinese government? A partnership with the Chinese government, basically. Like they're getting funding. Why do you have Stellar partnering with IBM? These are all blockchain projects, legitimate blockchain projects. Why, if Ethereum and any coin that is not Bitcoin is a hack, basically, and his points as to why are just nauseating, then why are all these big companies diving? Why is Microsoft joining the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance and eBay just joined the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance? We're talking about some of the biggest companies in the world. This guy's a certified ass. So take everything he says with a grain of salt. Anybody can call a bear trend after a gigantic blow off top like that to 20K, which the only thing he ever does is trade the TD sequential, and uh, and then sometimes he shows moving averages. But I think he's a hack, man. I really do. So let's get away from wasting our time on useless people. Okay, so the macro look at BTC, we've broken this RSI downtrend resistance with force. Um, Now, if the day wants to close bearish under the 20 EMA, this RSI could come back down and maybe tag this line. But I think we've bought ourselves some time. So I'm gonna look to scalp short at key levels to manufacture my profit while Bitcoin truly tells me what it wants to do. And the rest of the market tells me what it wants to do. So, I mean, and if you want to buy a little bit right now, uh, I can't argue with that. But don't get too FOMO-y. I said buy a little. You can buy a little bit right now. I'm loving how alts were just popping off one after another recently as well. So I've made a list that I want to run down through of alts and what I'm seeing. And the big theme of this right now is patience. Um, is patience. The big part of it is patience because we can get a confirmed trend and sit out the first pump and buy pullbacks to the 20 EMA. So make sure you continue to follow me because it works. Um, and then get our part of the market, get the pullbacks, get almost the same entries as before, or at least a safer entry where we know we can risk more capital with defined trade criteria and a better risk reward. Um, yeah, it's like literally, guys, the world is your oyster in these markets, and and you can play it. You can play it myriad of ways. So I always choose to buy pullbacks because they're safer after I have a confirmed trend. Short into pumps to scalp short, and then while I'm waiting to get a confirmed trend, and then when I get that confirmed trend, um, we'll just buy pullbacks. We have multiple tools. We can use the moving averages. We can use the Ichimoku cloud by flat and Kijun pullbacks on C clamps. There's a lot of stuff we can do. So let's get to work. All right, so I'm gonna go in alphabetical order. This is A to O right now. Um, Cardano is the first one. So, and I'm going to show you the macro views of these charts. All right. Cardano doesn't seem to want to, and I have Bittrex on here because it has a more recent. Let me add Cardano on Binance. All right. So, and let's multi-chart this side to side. All right. So let's compare. This is Bittrex. I need to go down to. So here's a true volume profile, right? So we can compare previous market structure because this ended back here on the Binance chart, and you didn't get the full fib level. So, um, so the fib level is like 300. We could technically chart that over there, but it doesn't matter. So here's what we have. There's things I love about this chart and things that I don't as of right now. All right, so we had a full market cycle. We had a retrace. It went past the 786, didn't quite hit the macro 886, but it did. Let me take the volume off this chart because the volume on the Bittrex chart is non-existent. It did hit this horizontal resistance or resistance turn support, right? If you notice, I mean, I had this drawn for a while and it came back. I was like, yeah, it'll probably come back and hit this. Came back and tagged this, and so it didn't hit the 786, right? Didn't really respect the 786. What did it respect? Well, respected this horizontal support. So you want to have your macro fib levels and you want to have your horizontal levels lined out too and see how they play well together. So for future references, you could sprinkle buys at the macro 786, sprinkle buys at this horizontal resistance turn support on other charts. Um, and so macro 786 bounces typically go to the 382. We didn't quite get that. This wasn't even necessarily a macro 786 bounce, but we didn't even get halfway in between the 0.5 and the 382. The market died. It is what it is because it was rising. Um, and then it stopped rising when Bitcoin broke support again. So I love where this chart could be going. We could be getting an Adam and Eve bottom, which is a U to a V. Um, or if, you want to look at it as, that's more of a V and a V, like a W bottom. Call it an Adam and Eve bottom, call it a W bottom, call it a double bottom. It doesn't matter. This could potentially be that. One of those, if all, like, there you go. Right now we're at the 20 EMA, the daily 20 EMA, which during downtrends is a bitch to get over. Uh, right? It just is. If you look at any downtrend, the daily 20 EMA, once it breaks support, once it falls through the 20 EMA, and the 50 moving average, it retests all that and dies like it did up here. The daily 20 EMA is going to be a bitch on any chart to get over. It just is. It's a great indicator for that. Just like during a bull trend, the daily 20 EMA is a great thing to play bounces off of, is a great thing to, once the market starts accelerating, buy pullbacks to the daily 20 EMA. Like, it's the inverse during bull trends. On many charts, it's a great indicator. Um, so, why could price right now get over this 20 EMA on the daily? The answer is it's starting to flatten a little bit. It really is. It's starting to flatten. If you zoom in here, that's a flattening EMA, which obviously is you could call it a price magnet, but it's just a symbol that the downtrend is slowing, and price is coming back up to meet it, which is going to take price from going down to sideways and potentially curving up. So I want to see price bounce off of this daily 50 moving average, okay? And I want to see on Cardano how it reacts to that. We have plenty of time here, guys. Plenty of time to get tons of profits. We don't want to risk our profit right here, or risk our capital right here at the daily 20 MA, because if it goes sideways, loses steam, Bitcoin loses steam, Bitcoin breaks support, doesn't quite get over the 20 EMA, and we have a more aggressive downtrend from there, you sold the top, or you bought the top, right? Do I think that's the case here? Well, if I look at the volume profile on Binance, um, this is a lot of bullish volume, and bullish volume is in um, confluence with bullish volume is in confluence with, oh, this is showing, take me to, thank you, is in confluence with price action. So it's technically bullish when your volume is in line with your price, right? There's no divergence between volume and price. So you're getting some bullish volume spikes over the volume moving average. You're not really getting many bearish daily candles that get over the moving average or at least stay there for a couple of days, where you're getting clusters of buying here on Cardano. Now we know Cardano has a bright future if they're able to do everything that they're, it's not a finished product right now. It's working on it. They've done a lot of things the right way. Um, but then you want to see a volume breakout with a price breakout. And that is your first clue that, okay, we're onto something here. Then you can start zooming into the 4-hour range, buy a pullback to the moving average or key fib levels, match them up. I can match them up for you, um, and uh, and be on the go. But Cardano looks great. You could buy a little bit here, just a little bit, and if it doesn't follow through, put it in your long-term holdings of your portfolio. Like that's something to look at. So I'm kind of outlining everything I'm looking at with charts, just using Bitcoin and Cardano, and we're gonna get moving. I'm not ready to buy Cardano yet. Um, but if you want to buy a little bit, sure, a little bit, okay? A little bit. Don't eat the whole bag of Doritos on the first try. All right, let's look at Aeon. What a ridiculous drop this has had. All right, so look at that volume profile. It's just a mess. Doesn't tell you much. This was the Palm Beach pump over here. Excuse me. Let me move this up. All right. And we had a false breakdown, and this is going to be kind of hard to see, so let me drag this up here and then expand it more. This is our macro fib. So we drew it from, let me make this a little more accurate. We drew this from the initial drop into the market to the top of its peak, which was like a 4 to 5x, but gosh, during that alt season, that wasn't much. Um, so again, common theme, we're at daily 20 EMA resistance. Now on altcoin market cycles, if they fall through the 886, typically, they're not gonna survive. I've just noticed historically, they're not gonna survive the horizontal support that is the one. It's just the horizontal support from where you begin during the fib, the macro fib. And then you start to look to the 113 and the 1272. And I went over this in a private group video the other day on macro fibs. The 113 and the 1272 are good areas to catch these altcoin macro retraces. Well, this fell just underneath the 113, didn't quite get to the 1272 or the bottom of this falling wedge. But this whole thing is in a freaking big falling wedge if you see it, guys. And we did break RSI support or RSI resistance diagonally, which is really nice. Now we want to see it come up and get past this 20 EMA, and then I think you're going to have support at not only this top of the falling wedge, you're going to have resistance, but then also horizontal support turn resistance is there as well. And then you can buy a pullback if you want to, because we'll probably get a rounded bottom. But you want to see it defeat this 20 EMA. No rush to buy it. Now, long term, is this a good spot to buy Aeon? Absolutely, in my opinion. Aeon's a great project, man. They're in that interoperability alliance with Icon and WangChain, and they're a very promising project with a good team. So if you wanted to buy here for a long hold, absolutely. If you want to trade this, not yet. I want to see a volume spike. Um, I just need to see more, and so do you. Trust me. I'm gonna be a good trader for a long time. Um, yeah, oh yeah, yep. Um, but yeah, it's a good project to buy long term here. I mean, gosh, you're underneath. You're basically at the 113. That's a great buy spot for a stash. Trust me. Show you a million charts. But we want to see a little bit more. But do I think that you could trade this right now? You could try to swing trade it by buying here. But again, what happens if Bitcoin breaks support? I mean, Aeon did just go from 13K, 12.5. I mean, that's 50%. It's gone up 50%. Do I buy it here for a trade? Probably not. I need to see more, guys. Look, here's the deal. This could get denied at the daily 20 EMA, and yeah, it's flattening, so it could walk along this and bust out. But there's going to be a million more times to spend your capital with a better risk reward ratio. This is all about capital preservation in a bear market, and we are not out of the bear market yet. This could just be a bounce. So it's promising, and your long-term holdings are going up right now, so you're making money right now. Um, but if you need to buy 20% higher to, you know, be able to, in terms of trading, like I said, long-term investment, sure, buy it. But in terms of trading, if you need to buy higher to have a confirmed trend, that's fine. There are a million coins, and if it's a confirmed bull trend, there will be a ton of volume. You won't notice that difference, but you will have a lot more peace of mind, and you will protect yourself in case this doesn't become a bull trend. You know what I'm saying? So you got to think of it that way. Um, Aeon's ICO was, so what did it get down on a dollar view? Like 80 cents or something? 50 cents? Wow, it got down to like 79 cents. So below ICO price. It's crazy. All right, so next one is um, so Aeon's at resistance right now, not buying. Looking, I like the 50% bounce. Here's one that is at an all-time buy level, and it's Ardor. I like this project. I actually do. Like, I think that it's undervalued. It just needs to get its ass on Binance. This is, I mean, this was one of the original forks off of NXT. It's a platform. They have a full ecosystem, voting mechanisms, consensus mechanisms, everything. Like, this is a great community, and it's like 5 to 7 years old, and they're serious about this. So it's highly developed. Um, and the thing about these NXT coins is that they freaking pump and then they die, and then they pump and then they die. And this is at an all-time buy level. You could buy this, right, with a stop below this horizontal. So 20, we'll call it 2,000 sats. With a stop on a daily close below 2,000 sats. 2,100 sats truly is what it should be. Um, so what are you risking right there? You're risking a 15% loss, 16% loss, and you are gaining potentially 10x, 8 to 10x. I think it's worth it. It's a high risk reward ratio. All right, next, BitShares. I love this chart, and I like that it's on Binance. They did a good job with that. Okay, so let's look at something here. Look at the previous market cycle, right? We have confluence of a fractal here. It's downtrend support. It broke it, and it 4x'd almost, 3x'd. Big deal. But still, when it did it with the RSI, so RSI and price action broke the downtrend line. And then we have RSI and price action breaking the downtrend line. So we need to go over to Binance and see what the volume is on this coin. So this is a buy with a stop on a daily close below that trend line. It's on the Poloniex chart. Let me take, all right, so we had a volume spike last market cycle. We haven't had much. However, like I showed you before, volume, like the declining volume of the bear trend, it's mostly bullish volume, and it matches up. There's no divergence between volume and price. I'd buy this, to be honest with you. And let me take the volume off to see. It looks like it broke the downtrend line. Was it a false breakout? And again, this doesn't matter because we know where the long-term trend line is on the Poloniex chart. It's right there, down here and up here. It's right on this trend line. It's crawling it. You have crawling the trend line. You have a ton of confluence. I love it, and it's good risk reward ratio. So that's a good trade right now, in my opinion. Your stop would be probably somewhere around below 2,100 sats as well. Risking like 12%. All right, let's look at Binance Coin. We made a good trade on this last month. All right, so you can try to buy it on this trend line. It's always respected it, and it's coming close to it. So let me extend this. All right, where would that be at? Oh, this is Tether. I don't want to do Tether. I want to do Bitcoin. All right, that's what I'm looking at. All right, so you should get a solid bounce around this 50 moving average, but you might get a wick below like you did back here. That also coincides with this horizontal resistance trend support. And then I would always buy it on this trend line again. It's always respected that trend line. It has two touches, but I think a third touch, if it wants to fall through the 50 moving average, I think you'll get a bounce here, a 10, 15, 20% bounce right here. Like, so mark that down. This long-term trend line on Binance Coin with the Bitcoin pair, that should be a quick bounce, right? At least. Now the difference between it, let's see. Actually, no, let's go look at the 3-day, because that 50 moving average on the daily lines up with a 20 EMA on the 3-day. So there's moving average confluence there for a bounce, right? We're looking at 206K-ish. And then sprinkle some buys for me right around 201.3 to 201.5. 201.5, right above. Maybe 202 as well. Try to get a little bit lower too. Average down on a wick. Something like you saw a wick below here, a wick below here on the first touch. Just a quick wick below. So make it like 201.5, 202. I'd say. And then you should get a solid bounce. Now, you have to understand that this is a little more risky. A daily close below this trend line, a 3-day close below this trend line, or this horizontal support turn resistance, so 201K, and but then you have 200K that I think I could bounce off, and a 3-day close below this 20 EMA would probably stop me out. But again, that's 3 days to get a bounce. But you do have a tweezer top up here. That's tweezer top, and you had a almost on the 3-day. You didn't have a bear div, but on the 1-day you certainly did from this point in price right here. It's highly up, and this is down. There was your bear div with a tweezer top on the 3-day. But if you notice during an uptrend, the 20 EMA carries the uptrend all through up here. And you have a false breakdown here down to hmm, I was at the 786. Did I draw that wrong? Oh no, that's a trend-based fib. Okay, my bad. Down to the 1 of the trend-based fib. I was like, why is that 1 there? The 1 shouldn't be there. Trend-based fib of the entire chart. We were aiming for, I mean, we called this like back here, bought it like, I don't know, 160, 170K. And I was like, all right, it's accelerating. It's time to buy BNB, guys. And I was looking for a measured move, this increase to this increase off this trend line and an ascending growth channel that also lined up with the 4272, which is a common fit extension spot for many blow off top of market cycles. Didn't quite get there. It's not done yet on the 3-day though. So, and here's the RSI. Like you could draw yourself an RSI trend line as well on this. There you go. Bouncing off that RSI trend line would also coincide with bouncing off this 3-day 20 EMA. So I think it's a solid buy there because on the daily you do have the confluence of the 50 moving average as well. So that's where Binance coin would be a buy. Let's look at Blue Zell. Couldn't pay me to buy this right now, but that's a convincing double bottom bounce. Like this whole chart could be a freaky weird W bottom. But okay, so price fell through the 886 on this, right? Look at the yellow fib. And earlier I said that it's not common when price falls through the 886 for it to survive the 1. Well, it did. Okay, it just happens. But look where it's at in relation to the daily 20 EMA after this gigantic spike. Not a buy yet. What's the volume say? It's more bullish than bearish. Let's look at the daily. That's the 3-day 20 EMA, which is also right near the 1-day 50 moving average. So if you wanted to buy for a bounce, a pullback to this daily 20 EMA, you could do that, much like happened right here. Almost got to the 50 moving average, back to the 20 EMA, you got a nice bounce, be patient over the course of a 24 to 48 hours, get your 20% and get out. But it fell through the 886. All right. But this was the 618 of the trend base of the entire chart that false broke below and got back above. So I drew it from the top of here to the bottom of the chart to the top of its peak. And it's right around the 618. So you can see it, 618s go to 382s to 5512. Will it go to 5512 right now? I don't know. It almost got there. It was stopped at the 618 macro fib retracement of the entire chart, not trend based. So let it do its thing right now. Let it do its thing. Let it do its thing. That's too big of a gain to be buying into right now. Very promising though for future price action. Once we see these moving averages flip and stuff, guys, there's plenty of time. Icon's being a good boy right now. All right. ELF. There's a lot of fractal confluence on this chart. Just like BTS. Volume doesn't tell us a ton. It's more declining, like I said before. So there's no divergence between volume and price. And it's moving off. Now look when it broke this downtrend line last time. And why did I draw this downtrend line from the real body of this drop? Because if I draw it from up here, nothing respects it. Nothing respects it. Where do we have a downtrend at that price is being rejected at? Well, when I draw it from the real body of the previous market cycle top and just draw it right down, every one of those wicks respects it. So if the market tells me it respects it, it's real. So when you finally broke that and you finally got above the 20 EMA, which we did, we closed yesterday above the 20 EMA on ELF, and now are we following up with another day? We'll see. We're above the 786, the resistance. We bounced off the macro 886 resistance right here. Excuse me, support right along the long-term trend line almost as well. Didn't quite get there. But we broke this downtrend line. Boom. We broke this downtrend line. Boom. Potentially. ELF's a good project. It has a stupid name, but it's a good project. So we're not, all this is showing is that we're not quite there yet, but this is looking promising, right? I would rather buy up here on a break of the 50 moving average after a consolidation. Plenty of time to buy and make a lot of money. Remember, guys, we're at the very early stages still of crypto. I still believe we're going to have a crazy alt and BTC bull market, and greed is going to take over again, and we'll play. I'll play every altcoin market better than I did, every alt bull market better than I did the last. So I'm not worried about it. Patience is your friend. All right, let's look at EOS. As much as I love to hate on this coin, oh, I said yes, buy it here. Damn it, on the Binance chart because of the 618, and this is where price reversed at the previous market cycle. Was this previous market cycle's 618? See, 618. Bullish hammer closed back above. And here you are at the 618 of this market cycle, and it wants to bounce. Of course. So we didn't quite get to that in time. I said next to EOS, I said yes, but with stop on one day close below 123K because that is, we haven't had a daily close below 123K yet. And that's a 618 level basically. So I was right. What's the volume say? It's declining with price. Just good. We'll get a volume breakout and a price breakout. You can still buy some here, but yeah, you could probably still buy some here. I think it's destined to get up to the daily 20 EMA before it pull back, 140K. So you can get yourself 5%, 6%-ish. Yay! Welcome to freaking stock market. But long-term hold, I think you can buy some EOS here. I still think this coin is going to pump like crazy. Is it a scam? Hasn't had a good launch. Makes me want to call it a scam, but I'm not quite going to. So yeah, 382, you can buy that. ETC, abso-fucking-lutely. Yeah, look at that. Daily ascending triangle. Yeah, just buy it. And then not only that, but it broke and has moved, retested and moved away from the downtrend line, this green downtrend line. Let me make this bigger. Yeah, buy this. Buy Ethereum Classic. Buy it. Fucking buy it. Yeah, buy this shit. This was the Callisto. No, it wasn't the Callisto airdrop. This was the Coinbase. Buy that shit. Buy it and enjoy. Congratulations. You're going to get the Coinbase pump, in my opinion. I do need some coffee. My wife drank all the coffee. I have to go to Whole Foods and go grocery shopping. I intermittent fast every day, so I don't eat until at the earliest 11 a.m. and I stop eating at the latest by 7 p.m. But I've been up to I've been getting up to 20 hours without eating, and then I'll have two meals and a kale shake. I've and I mean I'm doing this ketogenic diet with intermittent fasting. Um, but most days it's like 18 hours, so I'll eat at 1 o'clock or noon and stop. Like I'll eat it typically like 12, 12:30, and then um, stop eating at like 6-ish. Uh, and I don't have any avocados, and I have to eat avocados every day for potassium on this ketogenic diet. So I have to go to Whole Foods to get some coffee, get some avocados and shit. Get rid of her. Dude, my life would be a wreck if I got rid of my wife. She's literally the greatest thing that ever happened to me. All right. So, all right, Ethereum Classic is a buy and a half, like straight up a buy and a half. Like Ethereum Classic is the move. No joke. Ethereum Classic looks phenomenal. It's got a lot of honey badger right now where it just doesn't give a shit. Just doesn't give a shit at all. So, move this towards me. All right, another chart I'm liking is fuel. Macro bounce off the 786, but the volume profile. Look at that bullish volume profile. That's crazy. It's always bullish on volume. There's a lot of accumulation going on and not a lot of bear volume. We did get a big bear volume candle on the daily down into the 786 with a false break below, but it caught it. Or the 886, excuse me. 886 is go to 0.5, so if this wants to continue, that's a 3x up to 1584. And I didn't draw the fib. Let me take the volume off, just to let you guys know. Um, some of it, fib drawing is arbitrary. It's 95% scientific, but sometimes you have to match it up to what the market respects. And if I pull this fib at the zero level, so I start down at the bottom and then drag it up to the top, if I drag it up here, the market doesn't respect it, like almost really anywhere. Like, yeah, you have right here at the 886, but then it fell below. Didn't respect the 786 really at all. You had one little tiny bounce, but it really didn't respect it. It's not really respecting anything all through here, but if I draw it to the real body high slash that horizontal or that previous peak right before, the whole market respects it. You have it respected right here. You have it kind of bounce right here, perfectly up to the 236. Um, resistance of the 786, resistance of the 786, all throughout here. The market respects it. You have resistance of the 618. It respects it perfectly. So with that, I'm going to follow that. It respects it back here at the 786. And I'm going to draw what the market respects. Hey, somebody's joined for the private group. Nice. I'll get that out to you after this stream. Thanks for joining, whoever you are. Um, private group's still open. There's a few seats left. We're almost full though in a bear market. I'm really excited about that. In the bull market returns, I'm gonna have to turn people away because we had that big alt bull market. I had 150 people in there. It's crazy. All right. All right. So fuel. Yeah, you could buy here. Stop below 500 sats. Daily close below 500 sats. You're risking 6 to 7%, and it's a 300% divided by 6 to 7%. That's what we call a risk reward ratio, ladies and gentlemen. And you have this gigantic. This coin's gonna pump at some point because of this bullish volume. Oils are loading up. That's crazy bullish volume in comparison during a bear trend to the bearish volume. And then it's been like stringing out and kind of trying to round. Yeah, I think you can buy here. Let's look at gas. It's another chart that I like. All right. So there's a fractal here of the previous market cycle. The yellow is the previous market cycle. The pink is this market cycle. And I hope you can see it. So the previous market cycle, I drew it all the way from down here only because the fib levels respect it and it got an 886 bounce. And I only did this after. I wanted to find if this market bounced at 886. If I draw up to here, it's like a 1131272 retracement. Doesn't tell me anything I need to know. But if the market's respecting these fib levels down to this 886 here, well, it's bouncing off the 886 over here, so there's fractal confluence there. Did it fall out of this long-term trend line? Yes. But trend lines aren't the most prevalent thing in the world. It tried to respect it back here, and it did. And then once you keep going back to the well on a trend line, it'll fall through. So, like BNB's trend line, it's only been touched twice ever, and that was just to establish the trend line. So a third touch. This is the third touch back here where it respected. This is the 1-2 touch back here to, and so I'm expecting a third touch on BNB. But let's get back to this. If we're looking at just straight market cycle, macro fib retracement, fib fractal confluence, good night. That's a lot. I'm not saying that again. I'm not sure I could. This is a buy. Now, I know we said in the podcast last night, those guys were amazing. And they also believe that gas could be worth more than Neo someday. So stake your Neo, keep your gas, buy some gas. I'd buy some here. With a stop below these previous lows here. You could even go 150 on a daily close below 156K. And then your target, probably this downtrend line, but even as high as 400K sats. Or just hold it. Gas is an easy hold long term. Easy hold long term. So like back here, will you get a chance to buy at this 0.886 area again? I don't know, but I wouldn't be in the business of selling this area. I'd buy some here, and I probably would move it to my long-term Neon wallet and just hold it. Genesis Vision token GVT. Bulletproof. Gotta back to it. Did it for about a year. Yeah, a little coconut oil in the coffee. MCT oil. Grass-fed butter. Nice. Conrad, you're doing bulletproof coffee as well. You're obviously doing keto then, right? Allergies are acting up today. I got the air conditioning on. How does that make sense? All right. All right, GVT. Hey, we got a nice bounce right here when we bought this, by the way. Look at that. It's a good bounce. All right. Let's try to get back into this falling wedge. But it's not super prevalent. I just want to see if it respects it as resistance or not. That's why I left this bottom line here. So I have this blue line right here. If you see this clock next to it, it is a alarm because I plan on buying the 786 level and this previous peak turn support. Otherwise, I'm not going to buy this chart yet because it hasn't hit major fib confluence or horizontal support. I still think it's a no man's land. I either buy these certain areas that I know the market is seeing and that I know the market is buying, because this is an undiscovered chart. This chart hasn't been around very long. What else are they going to buy? They're going to only be able to buy key technical areas. So volume, it looks like wash trading, maybe bot volume, maybe in my most optimistic state, a bot for a whale is accumulating and barely selling more than they're buying, barely buying more than they're selling, and accumulating all the way down the chart, averaging in that way, potentially. It looks like fake volume to me. It's not there yet, in my opinion. If it bounces here, it bounces here, but this isn't an area I buy. ICN. Have you ever heard those letters come out of my mouth? ICN. Look at this. Look at this chart. It's crazy. I don't need fib levels to buy this. It's like that big green box I took off of GVT just now. Like, here you go. You're right around this zone. This is a buy with a stop on a daily close below 9K. You lose 12%. You can gain the world. a huge pump. You can gain a huge pump because we broke this RSI resistance here. If I draw from this peak down the chart, we broke it. Now, would I draw from that peak of the RSI? No, I wouldn't. And here's why. I draw from this peak because this was just a double top. That wasn't necessarily really the top. It's just kind of a double top. Yeah, maybe it might have been like a centimeter higher, but it doesn't tell me anything. I'm going to draw from this peak because that's where my trend line is going to go. Get a false break above, almost. And this is, either way you look at it, it's a confirmed break above. So yeah, you could try to buy back down at 10K-ish. Stop below 9K on a daily close. Here's a volume peak. The volume doesn't really tell me anything. It's almost a wash. It's just spec buy, really. And again, this is going to be a lower market cap Binance coin, so you shouldn't buy a shit ton. Buy a little bit. I lost 25 pounds since I got into crypto. Really? Most people gain 25 pounds, man. Love keto. Lost 35 pounds. Awesome, guys. Yeah, I've lost 15 in 3 weeks. I'm hitting a plateau right now, though, with my body fat is being eaten. I'm getting leaner, like noticeably, but I'm having trouble getting rid of weight. It's kind of weird. All right, ICX. Good boy, ICX. This could be a double bottom at the 786 macro fib. I'll take these arrows off. I was showing how ICX respects its fib levels in a TA training in the private group. These never come off no matter how many times I delete them. They're just there, so it is what it is. But all right, so this was the peak. And we're going to draw. Here's what I'm looking for on ICX, on the RSI. Almost there, baby. It's technically broken out, but if it closes this day lower than it is now, it'll be back below. I would definitely buy some here, though, long term. I've already filled my bags completely with ICX. Like, I'm not allowed to buy anymore. I'm not allowed to buy any more ICX. I've broken every rule in the world with how much ICX percentage-wise my portfolio I own. And it's just sitting there. I'm just waiting for them to open up staking. If they have a master node, maybe I'll have enough for it. I don't know. IOST. Yeah, I'd buy this long hold. Sorry, I'd average into levels here. All right, so I like some things about IOST. And this is, come on. All right. Bottom of the drop into the market to the top of its market cycle, right near the 786. This is convincing here with the daily bull div, right? And oh, that muscle. I need to start lifting again. I used to lift a lot. I wouldn't buy here because it hasn't broke. It's at this resistance of the top of the falling wedge, 20 EMA. I think you might be able to get it like 50% of this retrace, so right around like 380, 390. Might be able to get it. And then hold it and then average in on a touch of the 786 again, and even the 886. And I would build. Sometimes the chart tells us the only kind of trades we can take is building a position on the macro time frame. So that's what I would do. I'd buy, and you could buy for a flip, but I think I'd start averaging in and average all the way down to the 86 if I had to, and start building a position. And I'd buy more than I buy at any other level at the 886. And this is if Bitcoin breaks support again. What's the volume say? Nothing. It's declining with the trend. It's good. Trend's weakening, and you have the bull div on the daily RSI to prove it. With that looks like a breakout of the RSI, but not quite yet. LTC BTC. Um, wow. So here's the problem. The previous market cycle reversed at the 786. The 786 for this one is at 95.7 K, 957,000 sats. And it's not even close. So this could be a false breakdown below the 618, get back above and do its thing again. Otherwise, it's going down to 957. Now, does that mean that Litecoin is going to hell so much faster than everything else? No, it just means that Litecoin wouldn't rise as fast as Bitcoin would. However, Litecoin is being manic right now because this rise and the way that it rises and everything is just weird, man. Like, I got nothing for you on this. Could this be a false breakdown below and back above? Yeah. But this is just kind of a level on Litecoin that I would buy and hold because I know this coin's going to $1,000 someday. I'm not even worried about it. It just is. But the LTC BTC chart is much less inspiring. So does that mean to keep your capital elsewhere? Maybe. Does that mean to buy some USD right now? And it's buying Litecoin, BTC, or USD is the same exact thing, but just to track the USD chart, maybe. And just hold it, put it in a cold storage, average in. Not much to do with the BTC chart. Again, it could be a false breakdown below the 618. Like, what's the weekly say? Have we? I don't think we've had two weeklies below the 618. No, we haven't. So this weekly could get right back above the 618. The weekly is what matters in the long term to me. The daily tells me when I need to start looking at the 4 hour and the 1 hour. But the macro, like this looks super oversold. On the RSI, it's not. However, it is at this horizontal support-ish thing of RSI right there. See back here? Let me make the RSI more visible. Cool. Like it's kind of at this horizontal support of this RSI. And this horizontal support does, oh, perfect, it stayed. This horizontal support does line up perfectly with that 786 fib retracement. So if it wants to hold this horizontal support right here of this RSI and just be a one-time weekly false breakdown and close back above, this could get going again. So I wouldn't be as discouraged by the BTC chart potentially. I leave this open as you're buying the USD portion and say, hey, you know what? This could be a false break below. So that's a good clue right there. Let's look at Lunar. Let's look at the lunatic chart of the century. What the hell is that? W bottom. Yeah, jogging and trading go well together. I'm gonna do power. Nice timing on what, Lotso? All right, this is at, all right, so Lunar. This probably likes to go Lunar, right? Likes to go crazy. It's at all-time buy levels, just like BTS, just like um Ardor. It's at all-time buy levels right now to buy and to hold. There you go. Nano, same shit. We don't have this when it was XRB. I'm not looking at the BitGrail or Mercatox charts. This is seriously cool tech. I'd buy some to hold here. It's at like 250 or something right now, and it got up to like $36 or something like that last all season. And you have this rounded bottom, which was a bull div on the daily RSI and an RSI breakout. I want to see it get above 50. However, it doesn't matter. This is a buy to hold long term. I'd love to be telling you guys, oh my God, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this. But right now, ETC is the only one that I'm being like, yeah, just buy it and walk away. Except it sucks because Neo was right as I wrote this down, right before Bitcoin spiked. I said Neo in all caps. I don't know if you can see this or not. I said yes with an underline, and then it jumps 10%. Fuck my life. Quite the timing, huh? Yeah, buy it. Just 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 buy it. Buy it and stake it. You're gonna get gas. Gas is only a 4% stake though. You only get 4% ROI. Yeah, until gas does a 30 or a 30x from here. And then you get 30 times 4 and you get a 120x. Just saying. That's not how it works. Yeah, it is. And cash, you could buy it to hold it. That was a pretty convincing daily bull div that built. Yeah, staking is gonna change the ICX market, okay? Because it's gonna take all the sell side liquidity off the market. It just is. People are gonna stake instead of selling. I'll just stake it. I'll get free. I'll get free ICX unless they do a gas system, or get free ICX gas. It doesn't matter. Like it's gonna change the dynamics of the order book. Just buy Neo. Just buy it. Just fucking buy it. $36, $33. Who gives a shit? Long term is going to $500. Just buy it. Buy it and stake it and walk away. NXT and again, this is at another um, all-time buy level. Look what this chart does historically. Look at what this chart does historically. This is how old this freaking chart is. Let's just go to 1 week. Which side of this market do you want to be on? You buy it with a stop below a daily close of 1400 sats. Get it at the bottom again. Which side of this chart do you want to be on? Is it a dead project? Almost, because they're moving to Ignis and Ardor, but it doesn't mean that the coins won't pump. It has nothing to do with fundamentals sometimes. All right, OMG. Oh no! OMG, I said yes. I don't know if you can see that. All caps, just like I did Neo. It was at 769. It's at 839 right now. Oh, dude. It's like an hour late. So, so upsetting. I feel like I failed you guys. It bounced at the 0.9, false breakdown below the 0.93. So you can still buy it, to be honest with you, but I would probably buy the next pullback. Wherever it peaks at, buy the 50% portion of that. Cut it in half and buy the 50% portion of that. All right, so we have requests for ELA. If that's on Binance, is that Elastos? And Power. Let's look at Power real quick. Power was your clue this was coming. I had to spend time with my wife yesterday. I hadn't spent time with her all week, and I've just missed yesterday. Good God. No, absolutely not. Nope. The 1 day 20 EMA is where I'd buy this. For a bounce, but not, no. Ugh, what was the volume? Again, this is Bittrex, so I shouldn't even be looking at it. It's good for Bittrex. Holy shit, was that all the... Look at the Binance volume. There's been a lot. Yes. Wow. Did Palm Beach call it? Yeah, buy this back to the 1-day 20 EMA and see what happens. Can't hurt. It's a good project. ELA. Oh, that's a stock. No, the crypto. Elastic. Uh, where'd it go? Elastic. They weren't ELA. They were XEL. Elastic changed their call sign? Their cash tag? Since when? Well, if Elastic is, I should still have XEL here. Yeah, there you go. Elastic. All-time buy levels. That's all I got to say. All-time buy levels. It's like a supercomputer golem competitor, but ERC20 token. But yeah, all-time buy levels. Buy it. Fuck it. Why not? Just hold it. Stop below 2,000 sats on a daily close. It's that easy. Miss ZRX. It is what it is, man. It's a last dose. Yeah, I don't have that on TradingView, man. Sorry. I thought it was Elastos at first, but I typed in ELA and it brought up XEL and said Elastic, and I didn't see the XEL, so my bad. Somebody asked about Tell. I don't have Coinigy anymore. My Coinigy expired. So let's look back at Bitcoin. I mean, those are some alt charts, guys, that I thought were interesting. There were some buys in there. Neo, OMG, Nano, Lunar, long holds. ICN on a stop below 9K sats on a daily close, I'd get out. Gas, yes. Fuel, yes, for holds. ETC is an immediate just buy and walk away, in my opinion. Um, BNB on the 3-day 20 EMA or the 1-day 50 moving average is the same damn thing. And then sprinkle some around 202,000 sats. BTS chart, all-time buy levels. Ardor, all-time buy levels. ADA, you can buy a little bit of. Oh, I didn't look at ENG, Enigma. I have that at the top and I didn't. This trend line is void. It doesn't matter because it wasn't a real trend line. I was just trying to find something. It's right above this 618. It's at 618 resistance, and the moving averages on the daily are tightening. I would buy some of this because you have that Intel partnership that made it go crazy from down here to up here. Wow, it went crazy. But I would buy some of this for sure. Deutsche Bank. I think I have them at the bottom of my chart. I thought I did. I guess not. Let me look. Exit scam. No, they're just a piece of shit company. They've been in trouble for a long time. Look at these 1-day charts. You guys want to trade the stock market, huh? This takes you back to 2017, man. All right, let's look at the weekly. Good God. Oh, it's toast. It's falling into the abyss. It's losing that horizontal support level. Look at the monthly. Yeah. See you later, buddy. It does have a daily bull diff on the RSI. I don't know. All right, Zill. It's the last one because I gotta do some shit real quick. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe, please, but make sure you like the video, please. I'm trying to grow my YouTube branding. All right, so ZIL on the daily is coming up to the 20 EMA and the 618 macro fib retracement. I chart every chart, guys, by the way. I always have them ready to go. I work a lot. So, I wouldn't buy this yet. You could. You could. I'm still looking for 814 sats, man. This isn't a no man's land. You could buy the dip and stop below $10 on a day on a weekly close. I don't know, or you could just trade crypto. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Not lock your capital up for a fucking year. Um, and divs can fail too, but that's your buy sign. False break below horizontal support. Zilliqa, I think it's gonna come up to 1176 at 618. Um, I just can't buy it here. They didn't respect the 618. I would buy it at the 786, or I wouldn't buy it at all. Or if you're a long-term believer in silica, like a lot of people are, you could buy some here. Sure. Just looks like an incomplete market cycle to me. ONT is a no. I don't even need to show the chart. ONT is a no-go. No, thank you. It's had its time. I don't think it's going to continue up. I would be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked because it's crypto, but it it's in a no-buy area for me. So, what's BTC doing? 6,600. It's going to range here for a second. Yeah. All right, it was a good stream, guys. I gave you some coins you should buy. You guys are the best. Uh, Stick with me. I'm gonna be doing more of these streams and stuff. So, um, yeah. All right. One love. Like, please subscribe. Tell your friends and shit. And then if you guys aren't part of the Telegram is in the description. It's a free room. There's a chat room if you look at the pin message in the Telegram as well. And then Instagram. Follow me on Instagram too. So we do a lot of good work, and I want you guys to be a part of it. So, all right, I'm gonna catch you later.